Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Gas Mask here. Today we're going to be talking about rock and roll. Hell yeah. If you like what you see, check out my other content. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And let's get into it. Emerging in the 1950s, rock music has been a symbol of rebellion and independence of our nation's youth. With artists such as Elvis and the Ink Spots drawing heavy inspiration from the swinging notes of jazz, rock quickly grew into popularity. In the 60s, British bands started to show up, such as the Beatles and Rolling Stones, and they further revolutionized rock in a different way by adding more instruments and also created the idea of a band, which before then it was just mostly solo dudes on stage singing, like the Justin Biebers of their era. Next up is the 1970s and 80s, where before now it's mostly been the Beatles and people that are completely non-satanic. Here comes heavy metal and punk. My area. Where people like Metallica, AC/DC, probably giving all the old people a nostalgia factor. Gonna stop here. Where they would use more aggressive instrument strumming and usage while also using a lot more vocals compared to, again, the Beatles. It was like, I'm going to keep that in there. In the 90s and 2000s, this is where we start getting more unique with the introduction of MySpace and YouTube. Shout out YouTube. Where smaller artists can gain a lot more popularity online and bypass mainstream media. Therefore, they are not locked behind a paywall to get their music seen and heard, allowing smaller artists to expand rapidly and share more controversial tones and ideas, allowing people such as Flashing Up Death Punch. This freedom of speech is integral for online constitutional rights and individuality, whereas if we let just mainstream media control everything, in which case we are kind of screwed there, because then all we are getting is the same rock and same music, which is not what the Founding Fathers would have wanted, and is mostly a violation of independence and individual freedoms, which, if you see my previous videos, you know all about. And to quote John Lennon of the Beatles, which we're kind of going full circle here, I regret profoundly that I was not born an American. Assuming I feel, and I hope you guys feel, it encapsulates, sorry, English is hard, encapsulates the American spirit, and as well as kind of the spirit of rock and roll. Now, drop a like, a comment. Drop a like if you like the content I make and you want to see more of it. Drop a comment if you want to tell me what I could do better, or if you have any ideas that I could do for future videos. And if I don't see you again, just remember, good morning, good evening, and good night. Oh, you're still here? All right. Well, here are some of the bloopers if you really want to see them. Emerging in the 1950s. Rock has been a symbol of rebellion and independence of our nation's youth, which is a very good thing, me like. Starting with artists like Elvis and the Ink Spots, they drew on inspiration from the swinging notes of jazz, which is jazz. Allow for more niche YouTubers and more niche artists and creators to come about. Like me! And allow them to bypass mainstream media, which is bad. Mainstream media bad. YouTube good. Me like YouTube. Emerging in the 1920s. Emerging in the 1950s. Rock music has been a symbol of rebellion for the nation's youth, yada yada yada. It was inspired by the swinging notes of jazz. Fun fact for you, jazz, that's a thing. Rock music's rise has coincided with the post-war boom, also known as the baby boom. When soldiers came back from war without ever seeing a woman in years to see their wife, someone they can get it on with. Which, oh yes, they did. Baby boom, boom, ha, ho ho ho, as the French say. Anyways, ADHD moment. Back to the thing. Rock music coincided with the post-war boom, like we said. So I'm reading off a script. First time reading it. Yay. You get to see all the uncut. You get to see the uncut version. I should be charting you stuff. Okay. With artists like Elvis Presley, which, if you're old enough, you know that name. I'm old. Yay. They brought that in. People like Elvis brought that into popularity, which kind of brought it into things. Like, if you don't know who Elvis Presley is, it's the guy with the hips. From Forrest Gump. For the love of God. If you don't know Forrest Gump, sue your parents. Like, that's the responsible thing to do. Alright. Fix my camera. They brought that into popularity. In the 1960s, however, it's the 60s. The Beatles, British people. You know, I love. What are you doing here? I gave you some bloopers. Go. Go. You heard what I said earlier. Well, other than me. I'm not sure what the lore is here, but go. We're done.